Here's what's coming up on today's show.
So finding that great buy for less money, and then also, the idea that you're helping the environment. A lot of fashion ends up in the landfills right now. And I think it's something easy that people can do that helps the environment.
Welcome to Kansas City Connections, a local business podcast geared towards spotlighting Kansas City's best and brightest entrepreneurs. Your host is fellow small business owner Steve Hoover, the president of Wealth Partners Corporation. Now let's get to Steve and today's guest.
Welcome to the podcast, Kansas City Connection Business Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hoover, and I appreciate you tuning in today. Our guest today is Claudia Sophir, owner of Style Encore in Overland Park, Kansas. Claudia, how are you?
I'm doing well, Steve. How about yourself?
Oh, can't complain. A little hot, though. But anyway, I appreciate you joining me today. Hey, let me ask you a question. Kind of give me a real brief background about who Style Encore is and what exactly you all do.
Okay, so Style Encore is the latest brand under the franchise umbrella of Winmark brands. Winmark does wholly resale brands. So under that umbrella is also Plato's Closet, Once Upon a Child, Play It Again Sports, Music Go Round, and I'm forgetting one of them. Anyway, Style Encore is the most recent brand. We've been around about 7 years. But we are women's clothing resale. So we sell clothes, shoes, accessories, handbags, and jewelry.
Interesting. And you get your inventory by buying from people. Is that correct?
We get the inventory from the public. So yeah, it's an interesting business model because not only, our customers, certainly, we purchase from our customers, but we also get our inventory from our customers. So we buy and sell, and it's all based on customers coming in.
Interesting. I know as we've talked in the past, there are other, as you stated, some other resellers out there that you compete with. What kind of separates you from some of the other of your competition?
Well, I would say my store personally, I've got a great staff, super friendly. I think what we do that maybe some of the others don't, in the city, is that we really work with you in terms of service. We've got personal styling that's all complimentary. We don't work on commission or anything. And so our main goal is just to make sure that you find something that you're happy with and makes you feel good in what you've got on. And we suggest that maybe you wouldn't think about to bring you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Interesting. So now when you're doing your buying, is there any in particular a season or any type of designer name or anything that you're looking for? Or are you just looking for quality clothing and shoes and accessories?
Yeah, in terms of what we look for gently used products, Steve. So we look for things that have been in the stores within the last several years, unless it's a really classic piece. So you might have, for example, a really classic Coach handbag. Some of those are considered vintage and they stand the test of time. But in general, in terms of our clothing, we want things that have been in the stores in the last several years because people don't want to, necessarily come in and purchase stuff that's, 10 or 12 years old. Okay, if that makes sense. We do buy all seasons, all day, every day. And so while there are seasons that we might need a little bit more urgently, we will purchase, for example, now we're buying fall, winter, but we also will buy spring, summer. So depending on the time of year, we might have more immediate needs, but we will buy all seasons.
Interesting. Now, a question I always have for business owners is why did you decide you wanted to do this type of business?
I've been a retail gal my whole life, and I've always kind of worked for other people. And so as I thought about what my next venture was going to be, I had been doing a lot of resale myself just through eBay, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of thing. And I've always shopped resale. I don't know. I just kind of like the idea of looking for and finding that unique item and going in a store and not seeing a whole run of the same product, right? So finding that great buy for less money. And then also, the idea that you're helping the environment. A lot of fashion ends up in the landfills right now. And I think it's something easy that people can do that helps the environment.
Oh, that's great. Now, of the recording of this, we are still in this coronavirus pandemic, and it was a difficult time for you because you were ordered to stay closed for was it 2 months or 3 months?
Yeah, we were closer to 2. I think it was six weeks we were actually closed. But
6 weeks.
yeah, it was a challenge.
So it's a challenge, but you're grinding through and doing your best on that right now.
We absolutely are. I mean, there were some things that we did while we were closed. Like we came in the store and we did live videos. And so there's some things in a way that have ended up helping us, as we've reopened, because we've created a following in terms of live videos. So we've tried some different things and had to pivot, which is always good. But, I wouldn't say that the traffic right now is booming. I think people are just, they're nervous about getting out and amongst people as it continues to seemingly get worse and worse.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, whenever challenges come up in your business, it comes up for everybody. You almost have to do some things that maybe are different, like doing live streaming or something of that nature, just to try to do something different. And because this will go away, and we will go back to somewhat of whatever you call normal at that point. And but basically grinding it out and making sure that you're doing some different things like you were will ultimately help. You just can't give up. You have to kind of just plow through. And owning a business, as you know, and as I know, there are peaks and there are valleys. And the peaks are never as great as you think they are, and the valleys aren't as bad as you think they are. So
yeah, when you're in it at the time, it seems worse. And I always say it's not for the faint of heart, but I think you bring up a good point. Like, this too shall pass and we'll get through it. But it's how are we trying new things and, pivoting like we talked about to get through, to pass,
And that's why I'm doing these podcasts. I'm a business owner like you. And I think somewhat we as business owners need to stick together and get the word out that we're open, we're doing things, and that we are there to serve. And as you said, that's one of your best parts of your business model, is the service part, and which is wonderful. Let me ask you this. I think some time ago you said that the resale or the secondhand, I don't know if secondhand's the right word, of clothing is one of the leading growth parts of the fashion area. Did I hear you correctly on that?
No, you're absolutely right. The apparel industry is one of the fastest growing segments of the apparel industry. You look at companies like ThreadUp or Stitch Fix, or some of those companies that are online, those national companies, and the business is just booming. It's great because people can, hopefully recoup a little bit of money before donating product, or at least see if somebody is willing to purchase some of the things that they have in their closet, so they can turn stuff that they already own into cash, and then feel good about what they're purchasing also.
Excellent. Now, for people who are listening to this, because we're right about our time frame. I didn't want to make this a long podcast for you, or because I know you need to get back to work. Why don't you give everybody your address and phone number, and maybe some of your social media links? We'll post this at the bottom of the podcast as well on the website, so people can link into your Facebook Live and some other things. So why don't you give me some of your contact information?
Certainly. We are located at 11924 College Boulevard, essentially in the College Square Shopping Center, across from Johnson County Community College and right next to the Hen House grocery store. Our website is Style Encore, Our Facebook is Style Encore, Overlandpark.com, and our Instagram is SEOverlandpark.com. What am I missing? I think that's it. I mean, please come see us. Our hours are 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and Sunday we're open from 12 to 6. We'd love to see you come in. We do curbside pickup, or, we're here to help in any way that we can. So if you feel like you don't want to come in, we can come out to the car and look through your product, or come out and get it for you and then give you a text message when we're through looking through it. We are here to help in any way that we can. So we'd love to see you. Please come introduce yourself. We'd love to meet you.
Sounds great. Claudia, I appreciate your time. And again, it's Style Encore. And so with that, we will let her go and get her back to work. And I appreciate you taking your time. And everybody have a great week. Thanks.
You bet. Bye, Steve. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Kansas City Connections, a local business podcast brought to you by Wealth Partners Corporation based in Overland Park. Need help planning for retirement? Call Steve Hoover at 913-685-3207. That's 913-685-3207, or online at wealthpartnerskc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcasting app so you never miss an episode. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google, and pretty much everywhere else you can listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next edition of Kansas City Connections, a local business podcast.
Any financial information provided is for illustrative purposes only and does not constitute tax, investment, or legal advice. Always consult with a qualified investment, legal, or tax professional before taking any action.